Hey, what's happening, nation? It's SJ. Y'all know what time it is. We're about to break down this Chiefs game and see who has the advantage going into Sunday night. This is a huge game for both of these teams, and with the Ravens losing on Thursday, it's really going to have a huge impact on the AFC playoff seeding. And this game is also going to have a major impact on the AFC West moving forward. So we're not going to waste too much time. We're going to go ahead and jump straight into this. If you are new to the channel and you think about subscribing, I really would appreciate that. We're going to start with that quarterback position tonight. It's Derek Carr versus Patrick Mahomes. Both of these guys have been playing incredibly good seasons so far. We usually get to see the best out of both of them when they play head-to-head like this. I'm honestly expecting both of these guys to end up having a pretty big day. I'm expecting both of them to be over 300 yards. I think Derek Carr is going to end up pushing that 400-yard mark. They're both going to end up throwing a few touchdowns, and it's really going to come down to whoever's offensive line can hold up throughout this game. I think our offensive line has been playing a little bit better over these past few weeks. It seems like they're really coming together. There's still times where the Chiefs' offensive line just kind of crumbles, and Patrick Mahomes is still running for his life. That's why you've seen him already throw 10 picks this season. And it seems like if you can take Kelce and Hill away from him, he really struggles. As far as DC is concerned, we still have our primary weapons. We're going to have to see if Djax can come in there and make some kind of impact on this game. And Bryan Edwards is going to have to step it up big time this week. But if I have to call it right now, I'm going to give the advantage to Derek Carr. We do have the home field advantage, and I am expecting him to completely ball this week. Moving into that running back room, it's Darrell Williams versus Josh Jacobs. Allaire is still on IR for them, so Williams is going to end up getting the start in this game. Honestly, been playing pretty decent for him this year. Plus, they like to run him in the red zone, which is something that they normally do not do. It's always throwing or just kind of scrambling around with Mahomes to see what will happen. But with Williams, they were going to a big package, and they will try to shoot him across that goal line. The Raiders' run defense has been pretty atrocious lately. They are not scared to feed the ball to this kid. Plus, if they can get their running game going, it's going to give them a little bit of an advantage in that time of possession game. The Raiders' run defense needs to step up in a major way if we're going to make it through this Chiefs team. Last week, Josh Jacobs did seem like he was kind of getting back to normal, but he did end up getting banged up again. Everything seems to be fine. He's not on the injury report or anything like that. I really think that this is going to be the game where he kind of breaks out and gets back to normal. Chiefs' run defense pretty much sucks, just as bad as ours does. The big difference is going to be how many carries Jacobs actually gets. I think 16 carries is the most that he's had in the game so far this season. I'd really like to see that move to that 20 to 25 mark. I know I said in my bold predictions that he was going to get over 100 yards and 15 carries. I just don't see him getting to that 20 mark. So I'm really hoping he can make the most out of the chances that he does get. Then the spellbacks for both these teams, and the reason that the Raiders are going to end up getting the check mark for this, McKinnon is a decent spellback, but Kenyon Drake is huge in our passing game. I really think he's going to end up getting in the house. He's just a bigger piece in our overall offense than McKinnon is to that Chiefs offense. For that reason, the Raiders are going to get the check as far as the running back room is concerned. Moving into this wide receiver room, they have Hardman, they have Robinson, and they have Tyreek Hill. All three of those dudes can make you pay on any given play. With the extra time that Mahomes can buy by scrambling around, all three of them are a legitimate threat. As far as we are concerned, we got Bryan Edwards, we got Zay Jones, and we got Hunter Renfrow as our starting three, but then we got that sneaky weapon in DeSean Jackson. I really want to see if he could be the difference maker in this one. But that dude is fresh on our team, and I am very curious to see the snap count he actually gets. It sucks to say, but you have to give the advantage to the Chiefs as far as this wide receiver room is concerned. We have a lot to prove right now as far as our wide receivers. I'm really hoping they can do it, but until they do, advantage KC. Jumping into that tight end room, oh, the great debate. Who is the better tight end, Travis Kelce or Darren Waller? So far this season, it has been Travis Kelce, as much as that sucks to say, but he has caught more passes, he has more yardage, he has more touchdowns, and he has been one of the consistent bright spots on that Kansas City offense. Darren Waller has still been our primary target on the majority of our offensive plays. That dude is still getting double teamed or laddered on every single snap. We need another receiver besides Hunter Renfrow to step up so we can take some of pressure off of Waller so he can get back to his top play. And even though our linebacker room has improved, we are still giving up points to the damn tight ends, it seems like every single week. So sadly, we have to give the advantage to KC. Moving into this offensive line room, I will tell you right now, our offensive line has been looking a hell of a lot better over the past few weeks. I understand that it's not been perfect, but Brandon Parker has not been pissing me off. Leatherwood has not been drawing penalties on every other snap, and the left side of our line has always been pretty damn good. It seems like Andre James is finally starting to settle into that center position, and things have just been looking better. And as far as the Chiefs offensive line is concerned, they have been looking incredibly rough all season long. It is the reason this Chiefs team has had their struggles on the offensive side of the ball, and now they're going to be missing their starting starting right tackle for this game, which means Yannick and Max Crosby are just going to have open lanes to come in and straight feed on Mahomes. This is going to end up being one of those games that comes down to being won in the trenches. And I honestly think, as it stands right now, the Raiders have the better offensive line going into this game, so advantage Raiders. Moving over to the defensive side of the ball and starting with the defensive lines, our defensive line rotation has been excellent as far as the pass rush goes, and now we activated Vickers to the active roster, and you guys know how much I love that kid, and he always plays lights out against this Chiefs team. Sadly, Darius Philon got moved to the IR, but dudes like Solomon Thomas stepping up, Hankins coming back. Defensive line is still looking damn good. The Chiefs defensive line is not terrible, man. They got Frank Clark, they have Chris Jones, they have Reed. This defensive line front that they have is honestly pretty damn good, but they're so hit or miss and consistent from week to week that you never know which Chiefs defense you're going to end up playing against. I'm very curious to see how their front four matches up against their offensive line. I think we should be able to contain them the majority of the game, but I could see Clark end up getting through. Don't think it should be too much of a problem for us. Or man, I'm expecting Mad Max to just straight up go off this game. It's going to be one of the main keys that pushes us to the victory. Well, that Chiefs defensive line has some bigger names on it, but this is a definite advantage Raiders. Moving into the linebackers, the Chiefs linebackers have been one of their biggest issues so far this season. Nick Bolton has by far been their best so far, but Hitchens and Willie Gay have really underperformed. Even Ingram, who has just kind of become more of a rotational piece for them, is not really getting in on too many plays. He only has 1 sack so far on this season. If you can start getting some of their linebackers into these one-on-one coverage situations, you will definitely have the advantage if you're sending a guy like Renfro across the middle. If we can somehow get him matched up one-on-one with Waller, that is a win all damn day. As far as we're concerned, Perryman, KJ Wright, and Littleton have been playing pretty damn good. I know you guys will give me shit about that, but KJ Wright looked a hell of a lot better last week. Littleton's been playing a hell of a lot better underneath Gus Bradley, but I think we definitely have the advantage in this linebacker room for no other reason than Perryman himself. Moving into that secondary, we are going to do the quarterbacks and safeties separate tonight. Usually I group them together, but I really think it's important to separate these two teams. The Chiefs have Fenton and they have Snead. Snead is actually questionable for this game. These corners have given up some big plays all season long. I really think that's going to continue into this week. I'm going to be watching the matchup between Brian Edwards and Fenton extremely close. Edwards should be able to win the majority of the times in that matchup. We unfortunately still have some injuries in that cornerback room. Amik Robertson is doubtful for this game. Nixon is doubtful for this game. We did activate HaHa Clinton Dix to the active roster. I think this could be the game where you see Desmond Trufant on the field getting a reasonable amount of play time this week. I do think Brandon Facyson will still be getting the start with Hayward on the other side. Facyson has played extremely well since he has been on our active roster. These Raider cornerbacks are going to have their hands full as far as this Chiefs offense is concerned. I think Hayward's going to step up and kind of answer to the call. But it's going to come down to Facyson and Trufant and Hobbs and seeing who can fill that role on the opposite side and seeing if they can contain that side of the field. At the end of the day, Hayward's been playing lights out football. Facyson's been playing extremely well. I'm going to give the advantage to the Raiders here, but Desmond Trufant needs to step up and prove to me he can still be a cornerback in this league. Then this safety room, man, they got Honey Badger, they got Thornhill. They are both incredibly good safeties. I honestly think that Honey Badger is going to end up being the one that gets the pick on Derek Carr this week. Then we got Abram and Merrick, who are quietly becoming one of the better safety duos in football, but we're missing Gillespie behind them. Teamer still on IR. We had to activate HaHa Clinton Dix. I'm curious to see what kind of impact he makes, because I really think we're going to see him on Sunday night. He was honestly playing pretty damn good for the Bears before he got released, and that wasn't a play thing. That ended up coming down to a money and contract thing. I really think HaHa Clinton Dix could end up beating out Dalen Levitt and beating out Teamer and Gillespie and becoming like that number 3 safety for us, and I honestly would not mind seeing that at all. I think it would help us out tremendously. But we are banged up at that safety position, and we do have some question marks going into this game because of that. I'm going to give the advantage to the Chiefs. Moving into the special teams, Harrison Butker is a better kicker than Daniel Carlson. It sucks to say that. There are very few kickers that I would put in front of Carlson, but Butker is one of those dudes. Carlson needs to start working on that accuracy a little bit. He's been shanking a few kicks that we really needed in these past few games. So the Chiefs are taking this kicking spot. Finishing up with the punter, it is AJ Cole versus Townsend. AJ Cole is a superstar punter. This kid is playing extremely well this season. He has the highest average in the NFL. He has the 3rd longest punt in the NFL so far this year. Fully expecting this kid to make it the Pro Bowl. I know I've said it 100 times and I fully stand behind it. Definite advantage Raiders here. Finishing up with my final score prediction, I'm really expecting this game to be incredibly high scoring and honestly pretty damn close. I had to call it right now, I would say it's going to be Raiders 42, Kansas City 35. I'm really jacked up for this game on Sunday night. This is always a big deal for me. I'm super excited to see how this one ends up shaking out. So let me know your guys' thoughts on it, man, and definitely hit me up in the comments section. Leave me your score predictions. But until next time, I'm SJ. If you can click that like button on your way out, it really does help me out. We will catch y'all tomorrow after the game.